taking over. Let's go. It's Ferrall. Coast to coast. Steaks, chicks, stacks. You and I are going to make a lot of money. It's Ferrall, coast to coast. It's pain-free Friday. Ferrall's doling out minutes on a mahogany, waxing it up. 100, 200, the bad seed, the bad apple with a bad attitude. We are live in New York City, the Big Apple. Ooh. People dressed in plastic bags, directing traffic, some kind of fashion shade up should do me. Yeah. Along with the Tutty and Tater King himself, the founder of the ILC podcast, the rights holder of the Sheet of Integrity, and the PGA Ferralla maker, leader of men, Carver. Hi this afternoon, lady. Mafia is running it with Luke. I am your father. The rundown for today's weekender as we head into the weekend with the final show this week. We got a double shot with Morency this very hour from British Columbia. And then in the second hour, the old blue liner, George Kurtz, joins us to talk hockey and baseball with the Subway Series starting tonight in the Boogie Down Bronx. At 5 o'clock in the coup de grace hour, Stewie from Quail Hollow, Keith Stewart from Read the Line with Carver High, talking about the 107th PGA Championship. Johnny Vegas still the leader, despite the double on 18 Carver High with the ouch miss from a foot away. And he had luck, though, on the golf course today. Did you see him hit the rake?
Let me tell you, happy Friday, first of all.
Yes, sir.
And what a big weekend. I mean, like you said, we have got rivalry weekend in baseball. We've got the PGA Championship. We've got huge playoff games in the NBA and the Stanley Cup playoffs. The Preakness.
What?
So there's a lot. There is a lot going on. It's a very big weekend. We'll start with the golf, and you're right. Now this Vegas, let me tell you, he was 10 under going to that 18th tee box and he doubled. He should have been nowhere near 10 under. You saw him hit the rake on 17, which allowed him to borrow that. On 14, he hit a ball to the 15th tee box, way past over on the other side. And because the TV, the camera tower was in his way, they let him move about 30 yards to the left and have a clear shot at putting the ball on the green. So he got two huge breaks on that back nine. I'm telling you right now, that guy's going to shoot 75 tomorrow, and you won't hear from him again. I love Johnny Vegas. He's put money in my pocket before in the past, so I don't. But he's not hanging around for the next 2 days and winning the PGA Championship. It's not going to happen. Now, I'll ask you this. Who is? Because right now, we're halfway through round number 2. We have the afternoon groups that are out right now. And really, I've been waiting for somebody to step up. Now, Max Homa did this morning. How about him, Scotty? 7 under he shot in the morning wave to get to 5 under, and he's very much in the mix. But Matthew Pavon, Alex Smalley, who just birdied to get to 6 under, Rio Hizatsun, Christian Bezuidenhout, Michael Thorbjornsen, Ryan Gerard is already bogeyed to go down to 4 under. You'll see probably a few more of those today. Matthew Fitzpatrick, obviously, but look at this. Echeverria, Riley, Richard Bland. You haven't gotten the guys who have really moved up yet. Now, Bryson finished at 3 under today. He's obviously still very much in this, but he missed so many birdie putts. Like, he should be minimum 5 or 6 under after today, and he just couldn't get it done. Scheffler's 3 under right now through 4 holes. He's obviously the guy, Scotty, if you look at the odds boards and you just look at history, that I think that if by the end of today, he'll probably be at, I would say, 5 or 6 under if he just plays like he did, and he's going to be obviously the favorite going into the weekend.
Yeah, he's the most dangerous, I think, out there. But you got to admit that the Homa round was phenomenal at 7 under. So he obviously has figured out this golf course.
Well, he's won here in the past. His first ever win was at Quail Hollow. He is, and he's had a real tough year. He has been out of the mix. I mean, the kid, it was like 200 to 1 to start the week. I will be rooting for Max Homa this weekend. I'm going to find a way to put some of his tickets in my pocket tonight put it with the golf home runs. I want to root for Max Homa. I like rooting for him, and I would love to see him win the PGA Championship this weekend. So that's one guy that I have circled. Still get him around 25, 28 to 1, by the way. Right now, you can still get Max Homa to win this thing. So we'll be watching the golf all afternoon. We're going to have our eyes on it. Going to be a lot of fun. Meanwhile, Scotty, we do have afternoon baseball as well. The businessman special out at Wrigley Field, and it's the Cubbies and the White Sox, and it is a warm day with the wind blowing out. Because I'm sure I saw it late last night, or if you look in the morning, whenever you first look at the line, when you look and you see an 11.5 at Wrigley, you go, all right, what's going on here? The wind's blowing out, and that's precisely what you've got. And you've already got 8 runs through the first 2 innings here today. As Pete Crow Armstrong just hit a 3-run shot for the Cubbies, and then Suzuki followed with an RBI double, 6-2, the score as they go to the top of the third out at Wrigley Field.
Yeah, I mean, they're flying out on Waveland and wherever, so it might hit Murphy's Bleachers. You're having a beer in old style at the bar, trying to mind your own business, and a ball comes flying into the bar. I mean, it's all happening on the north side.
It certainly is. So we have that to watch along with the golf during Coast to Coast today, which should be a lot of fun. We get ourselves some long balls. Next, lots of playoff action that we have to get to. Nuggets force a Game 7 last night against the Thunder. They're going to play that on Sunday afternoon in OKC. We have an enormous Game 6 tonight at the Garden in New York City between the Knicks and the Celtics. So will we get a Game 7 there as well? We will get to today, too. So a lot of NBA to get to.
Yeah, listen, I thought really Joker, Murray, and Brown played fantastic last night. You knew it was going to happen. We had it all. We hit it all. Denver at home. Now they go to the Paycom on Sunday afternoon at 3:30 for a Game 7. And anything is possible there when you're basically looking at Shea against Joker for all the marbles, right? And then tonight, it is just Stress City at the world's most famous at 33rd and Broadway. 33rd and 7th. Can we get like a Knick win tonight so we don't have to deal with this? Because I'll tell you what's going to happen. They will lose on Sunday in Boston, and that'll be that. They have to win tonight. There's no getting around it. There's no other discussion. Nothing else to be said. Towns has to show up, the big bodega. He's been shanking shots. They can't just rely on Brunson to win the game by himself. They have to get Anunoby, Hart, Cat, and Brunson, and Bridges all going tonight and take advantage of the crowd inside MSG. Otherwise, they are dead meat on Sunday, and you know it.
Well, and I was going to just tell you that's they're going to get the same thing that OKC and Denver got. They actually get 2 days if there's a Game 7. That would be Monday night.
Oh, Monday night is what they're saying.
In Boston. Which means that means you'd be stressed out here on Monday on Coast to Coast hours before a potential Game 7 with the Knicks and the Celtics. I
can't have it. I don't care about I really don't care about that scenario. In fact, I thought it was Sunday. I know the other game's Sunday. I thought they both would be Sunday, but they're going to give them Monday. I don't want anything to do with Monday. I'll see you Monday to do the show. And I don't want to be watching a Game 7 at the Garden Monday night. That's what I want. I want it all over with tonight.
Enter into the magical world of McLuck.com, where even the smallest of spins can win real cash prizes. Adventure into over 1,000 of the best Vegas-style slot games. So what are you waiting for? Unlock your free welcome offer today. Join the fun where winners play and players win.
Vegas knows how to show love to our everyday heroes. So if you're a first responder, you are in for some perks. Lots of hotels and casino offer big discounts to any first responders who can show valid work or volunteer ID. So treat yourself to a discounted stay. You deserve it. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The Warriors' future was uncertain. Are they going to break it up? Steve Kerr coming back. They get Jimmy Butler, and they surge all the way through, and now they're through the first round.
The Warriors have guys, because of how special their star three trio is, they can make the guys around them better. They can elevate the way that they play. And we saw that. Steph Curry, 3 points in the first half, steps up in the second half, 19 points in the second half to carry them home.
Newswire. Only on SportsGrid.
Under him was Sharon Moore, who also participated in the cheating scandal with Connor Stallions. So you know what happens to him? He doesn't lose his job. He doesn't get a 10-year show cause. He gets to keep his job, and they go, we're just going to suspend you for 2 games next season.
Now, all of a sudden, they're coming out with everything that we knew to be pretty much true when it was happening. Yeah, they were cheating. It was like Belichick and the videotapes, right?
The Early Line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of
18.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
You can catch Sports Rage weeknights at 10 East on all of our TV and radio outlets. We get Morency for a double shot every day on C2C from Vancouver. So last night, the Canes eliminated the Capitals, and I couldn't believe the Jets blanked the Stars. Now, beating them's one thing. They don't score a goal against Hellebuck is another entirely.
You know, we've seen this before, Scott, with Hellebuck. That's back-to-back shutouts for him on home ice. And you figure, okay, is it going to carry over now? Is he back, right? Is he back? We forget this guy was nominated for the most valuable player in the National Hockey League this year. That's rare for a goalie. Like, he was defined as one of the best players in the league, not just like one of the best goalies in the league. And we see at home, the Jets are basically unbeatable, Scott. I said, remember I've been saying, if they just didn't lose that one home game, they actually could just go 4-3 all the way through by playing at home because they have home ice. They got to find a way, Scott. I don't know. I'm not sure momentum matters in the playoffs actually from game to game, as we see often. What happened in a previous game in the NHL playoffs really doesn't carry over to the next game. But I tell you what, it's a big if ends and buts were candies and nuts, but it's a big if. But if the Winnipeg Jets are able to get this done on the road on Saturday, they can win Game 7 at home. They're going to win Game 7 at home. So it's a little different. It's like the Toronto Maple Leafs. If the Leafs somehow pulled it off tonight, and I don't really have a ton of confidence that they will, I'm not sure they would win a Game 7 at home. Like, the Leafs are actually worse at home. Like, they feel the pressure at home. The Leafs are looser on the road for whatever reason. The Jets, it's the opposite. You often see, Scott, you've been around hockey. You've traveled with a hockey team. Hockey players like playing on the road. They do. They like silencing the crowd. They just like it, right? They enjoy it. The home stuff, it sounds cliche, man, but, you got your wife, you got your family, you got this, you got that. You know what I mean? It's like you've got distractions, you got the crowd, you get fired up, you get caught in the moment too much, you're not the same. People, the big cliche, the term in a dressing room in hockey, guys, is let's go out there and play a good road game. Good road game means fundamentals, forecheck, back check. No one says let's go out there and play a good home game. when they play at home, it's like, let's go out there and F them up. And, like, they're trying behind-the-back passes and tic-tac-toe, fancy stuff, right? You go on the road. So, but, yeah, Scott, the winner, this is a fun series. High-level hockey between the Winnipeg Jets and the Dallas Stars. But as you and I both know, brother, Edmonton are beating either one of them after.
Yeah, I agree with that. And let me say this. Like, I agree with you that they're very good at home. I just don't think they're going to get there. I think they're going to lose tomorrow night in Dallas. They have been terrible on the road. Let's not talk about how good they are at home. Let's talk about how terrible they've been on the road. They're like winless. And so
they've lost 9 straight on the road.
9 straight on the road. They suck is another way of looking at it. Here's another one for you. I couldn't agree with you more about Toronto. I think that everything you just said about the business trip, the road, of how they like playing on the road is very true. And I don't deny that Toronto plays better on the road. But I agree with you. They do not play well in that building because of the stress and pressure and all of their choke jobs. I think they've choked so many times in Toronto. And when they go out on that ice, you can just feel it in the air that they're going to screw it up and blow it again. That's all they ever do. And then it's the most expensive ticket in the league. So people think, not only is my team bending over again, but I'm getting fleeced for the cost of this seat to watch them lose. And I think it all adds up to failure.
It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. I swear, Scott, one goal, man, when the Leafs are down, when the other team scores first in Toronto, you think it's 11-0. Like, you know what I mean? You think it's like, oh, the game's over. Like, it just deflates. It's literally just this. And it comes crashing down. Everybody in Toronto expects the worst, and they kind of bring it upon themselves. But I'm not blaming the fans. There are some people who are actually saying they're bad fans, Scott, because they threw jerseys at them and they booed them off the ice the other night.
Whatever. They deserved it.
No. I think you're lucky you didn't get car keys thrown at you.
And
like
eggs.
In batteries. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, really?
Eggs are
you
expensive,
said,
though.
You charge people $800 to get in and you lose 6 effing-1? People aren't rich, man. It costs a lot of money. You know what I mean?
Do you think they figured them out? Like that, like the style that they went from losing the first 2 games to the last 3 games, it seems to me that they figured them out how to not only beat them, but how to kick their ass.
Yeah, the Panthers have now sort of started to flex their muscles, Scott. Right? They're a bunch of dirtballs. The Leafs are not. It's a classic. Like, the Leafs are very good hockey players.
Finesse.
And everyone's ripping Mitch Marner and this and that. I'd love to have Mitch Marner on the Canucks or the Canadians, right? Mitch Marner's a hell of a player. You know what the problem is, though, with the Leafs? They're pretty boys. They're pretty boys. Like, Mitch Marner can't grow a beard. He looks like, you know what I mean? He can't. Like, he's not. You know what I mean? He doesn't. The facial hair is not there. Austin Matthews is a good kid. He's a great sniper, a great goal scorer. He's not a sleazeball. He's not a dirtball. Seth Jones will knock your effing teeth out, Scott, and like it. Like, hey, like that. Hey, you want some more? Huh? You want some more? You know what I mean? Brad Marchand, dude. You know what I mean?
He's dirty.
He'll trip his own mother. And sorry, Mom, but no, I got to slash you in the corner. Bam. Like, Kachuk, they're dirt balls. And now, Scott, it's getting ugly, and the Leafs are the pretty boys. This is the classic, you know what I mean? The white guys from the Y. Now you're playing street ball, all right? Like, no, you don't get the calls now. This is not how it works. We're playing street ball now. The Panthers are playing street ball.
Yeah, listen, I think that tonight's going to be another nightmare for them. I think they're finished.
I don't have a lot of confidence in them.
I think they're finished.
I got no reason to die with them here. Like, you know, I mean, I said, they're going to get through the East this year and all that, but I don't really see a reason to chase this, Scott.
They never do, right? So when we come back, we're going to talk to Morency about tonight's incredible Game 6.
The Knicks are a lot like the Leafs, Scott. They're the Knicks.
We've compared them. We've compared them. They're on their own little choke sandwich at the deli right now. The giant hoagie. It's halfway down
some
the
corned
throat.
beef.
It's stuck right in there. You need some beer. All right, we're talking to Morency.
Jason Tatum underwent surgery to repair a torn right Achilles tendon. That is obviously a season-ending injury, and that's long rehab. You're talking
That's a year.
That's a year.
I don't wish that on anybody. I don't. I hate that Achilles, knees and ankles. I don't like talking about them. I've said it a million times, but screw the Celtics.
Ferrall Coast to Coast, only on SportsGrid.
Your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never does.
They played side by side with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers.
Ever got to Texas?
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian
Why
made
would it
very
be Quinn
clear
Ewers'
the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a seventh-round pick, Arch Manning is not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong.
I just told you he's going to be number one overall. My whole thing was I'm buying
you're doing
him
your thing now
I
where you double down on a tape
No, I'm
that
not
is
doing
incorrect
that. The
when I
best
show it's
quarterback
incorrect.
prospect to ever hit college football can't play
He's
over
not,
a seventh-round
there were
pick
two
who didn't even
perfectly
play
rated
good.
quarterback
Stop
recruits
it.
in the history of the sport.
Quinn
Vince
Ewers couldn't
Young
even play at
and
Ohio
Quinn
State.
Ewers.
He couldn't even play at
Vince
Ohio
Young
State.
and Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
Couple things with Morency. One, the Knicks, same kind of thing as the Leafs. We've been talking about them, comparing them, the teams you have. And then I went to the game, and it was, $3,800 for 10 rows from the basket. And, I mean, that's cheap. That's cheap. That same ticket for the last Sunday against the Suns to see Booker have 40, but the Knicks won the game. That same seat now is $20,000. Those 4 seats, $20,000 to go to the game tonight. And your boy's going, you said, and I want to know who you like. I think they're on death row. If they lose this game, they're going to be put to death on Sunday by lethal injection. And then I want to ask you about the kid Caleb Williams, who you're seeing all these stories a year after the fact that he never wanted to play for the Bulls and wanted to play for the Vikings. And there's a book out, and his father and everything is quoted as saying they tested everything in the market, including the UFL, because he didn't want to play in Chicago. My question is, how in the F is he going to play in Chicago this year with everyone hearing that he didn't want to be a Bear? And, they're going to believe he still doesn't.
I got to tell you what, if I'm Caleb Williams, bro, listen, this kid's getting bad advice left and right all the time. But if I'm Caleb Williams, I'm telling my father right now, listen, I got to do a press conference, and I'm throwing you under the bus publicly. Like, you know what? And they're clearly close. But he's got no choice, Scott. He's got to come out and call everyone a liar. No one cares about what's true anymore anyways, right? Stand your ground. Just say, that's a lie. You know what I mean? Like, and if my father believes that, I never said this, I didn't know about that. Like, if I'm Caleb Williams, I got to distance myself from this.
I think
they're
going
to turn it on. They're gonna, you know what I mean? Like, I didn't know about it. My father's his own man. He says a lot of crazy things, or it's just a flat out, they're trying to sell a book. It's not true. Like, you got to come out and put your foot down. And it probably is true, since they check with their lawyers.
But he hasn't come out. What's he waiting for?
No, and Scott, I want to like Caleb. And then the other day, whatever, dude, he shows up at some event with 3 different girls. It's like, what, you think you're cool?
I could do that, actually.
Yeah, I know.
I don't even have to show up with 3 different girls at a function. I could just have 3 different girls at home tonight in my bed.
It was pretty cool, Scott. He rolled out of a limo with 3 of them. It's like, all right, like, yeah, but bro, you weren't that good last year. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there's these high expectations for you. I'm not, like, I like him as a football player, but he's not as good as he thinks he is. And this stuff, I mean, and why does it come out now? I mean, if this could have come out last year, at least he could have gotten over this.
Season.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a place where they don't tolerate that in Chicago. No. Like, these people are stressed out.
They don't. Let's just call it out for what it is. You got a quarterback running around with painted fingernails. You think that's going down well in Chicago to begin with? They like Jim McMahon.
They
like
QB
Mike Ditka.
As McMahon. He had the whole thing going. Remember, Roselle socks on his forehead.
That was the best. Not allowed wearing a headband for sponsors. He wore an Adidas headband. It's for people, the younger people. Jim McMahon, quarterback of the Bears, made some side cash. He had an Adidas headband. And the commissioner told him, you can't do that. Like, you're not allowed, like, making your own money like that. So instead he said, all right, Roselle sucks. He put on the headband. Like,
he was great.
But I'm just saying, they're a tough town, right? So you already got this pretty boy QB. And now it's like, oh, you don't want to be here? You're the one that doesn't want to be here?
Right? He'll never live it down, bro.
Not ideal. Unless he goes out and wins 12 games. And as I stated,
what about the Knicks?
Well, Scott, we were on the Celtics the other game. You know, it was sort of like, all right, the Celtics are they're gonna want to show they can win a game without Tatum. They're just not going to implode right away.
Right.
I thought, all right, New York is going to be a little bit nervous. The fourth game is always the hardest game to get. I'm going to take the Knicks tonight, Scott. I know a lot of people almost want to see them fall apart. Yeah, you know what? People want to see, they're going to fall apart in this. No, the Knicks are a good team, right? It's hard to believe that they're good. It's almost like the Leafs. We want to believe they're good. The Knicks are not the Leafs. Like, the Leafs are gutless, right? The Knicks aren't gutless, right? The Knicks aren't a gutless bunch. They're a tough bunch that just didn't win a game the other day. They're not perfect. They're never going to sweep anybody. It's going to be a battle for them no matter who they play.
Right.
But give me the New York Knicks tonight. It'll be the biggest night in the Garden in 25 years tonight?
25 years. I wish I was there tonight. Like, I'm stressed out. I can barely get through this show.
I'll be on the air.
I'll be
on the air.
I'm
contemplating it, Scott. I don't know if you remember an old school metal band, Sacrifice. They're playing in Vancouver tomorrow. I'm thinking I got to go.
Should go see Sacrifice. Good band.
Jason Tatum underwent surgery to repair a torn right Achilles tendon. That is obviously a season-ending injury, and that's long rehab. You're talking
that's a year.
That's a year.
I don't wish that on anybody. I don't. I hate that Achilles, knees and ankles. I don't like talking about them. I've said it a million times, but screw the Celtics.
Ferrall, coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
Your college performance does not relate to the National Football League. It never does.
They played side by side with each other, and he wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. That's an issue. That's a major issue.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers.
Ever got to Texas.
It wasn't that it wasn't as good as Quinn Ewers. It was Quinn Ewers' program, which Steve Sarkisian made very clear the entirety of the time that Arch Manning was in Austin. So for you to argue that because Ewers is a 7th-round pick, Arch Manning is not that good and not deserving of being first overall is asinine. It is wrong. It is incorrect.
He's going to be number 1 overall. My whole thing was I'm buying
you're doing your thing now where you double down on a take that is incorrect.
The best quarterback prospect to ever hit college football can't play.
He's
over
not
a 7th-round
There were
pick
two
who didn't even
perfectly
play
rated
good.
quarterback recruits in the history of the sport.
Quinn Ewers couldn't even play at Ohio State. He couldn't even play at Ohio State.
Quinn Ewers. Go look it up.
The Early Line, only on SportsGrid.
We're going to go through every single thing, and I've got a great team behind me that's going to help me get the job done. I want this to be the place that people come to. There is going to be an energy to game time decisions that you will feel night in and night out. We are going to hit every single one of those markets that you need to know about. We will have everything at our disposal, and we will use that to our advantage. There is not going to be a better place, I promise you, than Game Time Decisions. I'm Kevin Walsh. Tune in to Game Time Decisions weekdays on SportsGrid.
All right, 6-3 Cubs now in the fourth at Wrigley, and I'm watching this Sweden game now. All of a sudden, Carver High. I'm going to go back to the golf. I've been watching the golf for hours, so I'm going to take a break and watch a little of this hockey game. So let's go back to the Denver win last night at the Ball Arena in the Mile High City.
Yeah, let's go back to that Denver game from last night. Nuggets beat the Thunder 119 to 107. Series tied 3-3 now at Game 7 on Sunday. Nuggets late, getting it done. Unlike Games 4 and 5, where the Nuggets struggled in the fourth quarter, they did not struggle in the fourth quarter last night on ESPN.
Moment ago on the bench, but back on the floor with a team-high 25 points. Jokic rested the first 4 minutes and 7 seconds. He's come back fresh. And Jokic from deep gives Denver a 12-point lead.
Points in the paint up as well.
Jokic, oh, what a pass! No look to Christian Brown. Defensive rebound, Murray. Just 6 points for Jalen Williams. That would have made it a 6-point game. Westbrook attacking, gets the layup.
Yeah, I don't know how many times I've said this, that Christian Brown, I think, perfect example of what Joker does for guys around him, right? This guy just getting fed buckets. He was 8 of 14 from the floor. He was perfect from the line. He had his best game ever in the playoffs. 23-11 double-double with 5 assists. I thought, he had 3 steals to boot. I thought Christian Brown stood out for me. And then Joker did his normal thing, 9 of 14. I thought Murray's 25, 8, and 7 with the Jordan flu game. We always hear about these guys that are sick, and I never buy it. Guys that are sick play the best games of their lives the night they're sick. Have you ever seen anything like it? Like, oh, he's got the flu. It's automatic. The guy's going for 25 or 30.
It's usually how it goes, right? They played that up all day yesterday. He's sick. Oh,
Like
he's
he was
questionable. Oh, he's got sniffles. Oh, yeah. They're showing him on the bench, sitting on the chair, and he played. Like, calm down, just
Right.
enough.
I thought Strother played well.
That was the deal. Off the bench, he had 15 points, all of them in the second half. Gave them some really big minutes. Joker 29, 14, and 8. Murray with the 25, and Christian Brown with 23. He's really taken to another level this year and in this playoffs. I thought Brown's been real good for the Nuggets here. One thing for them also, before we start talking about Sunday, Gordon hurt his hamstring towards the end of that game. Gordon did pull up. He said afterwards he thought he would be all right, but that's maybe where that extra day, Scotty, will come in to help them out. But you know how those hamstrings work. You pull those like that, get a little tight. It takes a little while to get that back going for you.
I got to be honest with you, though, and I know this won't go over well, but I think he's just too tough, too physical. Yeah. He's a monster. I think he's a badass. And then I think Steph's kind of a wussy. I think Steph's a great shooter, but he's like, candy. Like, he pulled his hammy, he's done. And their season ended. Gordon pulls his hammy. He'll play in that Game 7 as sure as I'm sitting here. He'll literally come out with a wrap around his thigh and his hamstring, and he'll, my guess would be he'll shove needles in his leg before the game. Anything it takes. Toradol, heroin, whatever it is, he'll play. Curry, be out a month. Gordon will be out. Not one game he'll miss. He'll play. Not only will he play, he'll go off. He's still going to do what he does. And he is a problem. This guy is a grown man. I mean, he is huge, and he's tough and physical. He reminds me of Randall in that he can do it all, and he can bang. And you do not want to mess with him. You remember the day, like, what was it, 2 weeks ago? Like, somebody took a swing at him? Like, he'll kill you. Like, this guy, you don't want to get in a fight with this dude. He will mess you up. He's enormous. And I wouldn't F with him at all. I mean, I'm not even kidding you. Look at Curry. Oh, man. And then this guy's like, after the game, he goes, yeah, I pulled it, but he's like, screw it. I'll be there Sunday. No problem.
And then
he starts rubbing it.
I know you probably saw this, but you knew this was going to happen. You know, yesterday they had like, you know, the breakout day, you know, the Warriors, everybody was saying goodbye. Of course, Curry gives you the, I was definitely playing the next game. I was definitely playing in game 6.
Oh, sure.
Right. Okay. I know. It's easy to say now, you know, now that you're out, you know, it's easy to sit there and say that. I was definitely going to play.
And Green's the best player in the world. Can't shoot, though.
Well, you know, it's like he said, you know, he still feels like he improves every year. So as long as you're improving every year.
I told you yesterday, young guys improve. Old guys don't. Old guys just stay until they drop off. Stay until they drop off, and I'm not wrong at all. I mean, I told you, I'm old. I average 12, and they still don't play me. And I'm like, and you know why? Because I'm old. And I sit on the bench picking my boogers. And you know what? That's what happens when you're old. They're like, yeah, we got to play the young guy. Meanwhile, the young guy has 2 points. I come in 12 minutes and have 15 points. But don't play Ferrall. He's too old. Meanwhile, I shoot 67% from the floor. 67%. And I'm sitting on the bench. Screw you. Here's what happens when you get old. Green, talking Shaq. He's full of Shaq. Old guys never get better. They just level off and then go right down the other side of the mountain and it's over. Young kids get better by the year. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. When they hit 35, 36, bro, you are toast. I'm 60. I'm old man River. Shut up. Sick of that dude anyway. I hate his guts. And he's everything they say he is. When he said they got this narrative of me, angry black man, that's exactly what he is. He got that right.
Let's
and
start.
I'm right about that too.
Fitzpatrick lips out a par putt as he's going to fall back to 4 under.
Fail.
Here
he's had a lousy year. He ever since he won a major, he sucks.
He has not been good since he won that major. Nuggets interim head coach.
What was the guy, Danny Willett? That's who he is.
Danny Willett, who won the Masters that year. Here is Nuggets interim head coach David Adelman, proud of his team as they get ready to go play Game 7.
I think just for us, just like the Clippers series, it's just all about trying to be in the game late. This was different because we had, I guess you could say, control of it in the fourth quarter, which has not been the case throughout the playoffs. It's been about us staying close enough, and then for our main people to close it out. I don't have an answer for that other than I only think about my own team and the challenge of playing great teams. It's just being consistent mentally. And again, I've said this throughout the series. What they did this year is incredible. They've earned the home court on Sunday. And on the flip side, we've earned the right to go down there and the opportunity to try to beat them in a Game 7. So this is what it's all about. A team that's done it all year long, a group in there that's hung a banner. I would tune into this game.
You know what? I don't agree. I don't agree with that at all. Let me tell you something. When he said, I don't worry about the other team, I don't agree with guys that say that all the time. All we have to do is worry about ourselves. We got to play our game. Oh, yeah? Okay, here's an idea for you. You're going to let Shai Gilgeous have 32 again on Sunday? You're going to lose. I'm in this game the other night. This kid had 12 threes. The guy said, you seeing anything? I said, yeah, you play no defense at all on this kid, so that's why we're going to lose. Somebody got to stick a hand in his face. Somebody needs to hammer him, foul him, trip him, punch him. I don't care what it is. Guard him. Did the Celtics not have this guy, White, have 4 threes in the first 7 minutes, and the Knicks did nothing about it? Like, we don't worry about the other team. Are you kidding me? How about we figure out which guys we're going to shut down tonight or we're losing. We don't worry about the other team. No wonder you're not the head coach.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip, try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
They've won 7 in a row. They've been dominant at Citi Field. Lindor's been insane. Pete Alonso's been raking.
You know, Griffin Canning, David Peterson, those guys have pitched really, really well. And when you put it together with that lineup, especially like you said, Lindor's been great. You know, they've got the makings of something very special in Queens.
Ferrall, coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
Derek Carr has called it a career after 11 NFL seasons.
I think they knew before the draft that they had to make a move at this point. And by the way, Derek Carr did have a pretty good career, made as many Pro Bowls as Eli Manning. So based on that, he should go to the Hall of Fame like Eli Manning. Well, Eli Manning does have a couple rings at that point, but always wanted to take a shot at Manning, who should not actually be in the Hall of Fame. Shouldn't be questioned, an under 500 quarterback for his career. Stop the Manning.
The early line, only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that roof. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple 18.5 point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
All right, so what about the Joker? How in God's name do you bet against this guy in a Game 7? Now, listen, I'm telling you, you tell me what the number is, whatever. I think I'm going for it with Denver. I told my son, he's a big Thunder fan, so I lied to him. I said, I think the Thunder will win. But I don't think it's that much of a lie. I think Denver will cover. But I actually think Denver can win the game because of their experience. And obviously, I think there's an advantage to playing in Oak City here in this 7th game, but they're young. And I think that if Denver sticks around and it's a tie game late with under a minute to go, I'm going to take Joker over Shea Gilgeous. I really am.
Yeah, the number's very surprising to me, and I'm going to give that to you after we hear from these two. Obviously, the two guys who, one of them, I wonder why they haven't announced this yet either. One of these guys is going to win the MVP. For this season, and they still have not let us know who that is.
Because it's a fix.
Joker.
It's a regular season award, but the fix is in. Whoever wins this game is going to get the MVP.
Here is Joker. What do the Nuggets need to do on Sunday, Game 7 in OKC?
Probably defense. I think probably defense details, rebounding for us, especially because how much they're attacking the glass, turnovers for us. Depends how the game will open up. If we slow down and if they start running, I think it's depends how the game opens up. Because they want to push the pace, they want to drive and kick, they want to find open looks, and we kind of want to maybe a little bit slower game to get open looks differently. So it's I think it's interesting to watch, and I think the details is gonna defense box out turnovers. That's gonna probably decide the winner.
Decide the winner.
I got about 51%. It went up from 44 to 51 in terms of what I absorbed there of what he said. But it sounds to me like all the little things add up. The rebounds,
all
the 50-50
50
balls, the turnovers, the steals. I think it's going to be huge. Look, and the one thing I would agree with most about that I heard him say in there is we can't let them get out running because they're young and they will run you out of the building. If they get a run going, a 5-0, 10-0, 12, 15, 18-0 run, it's over. Like they'll start running you out of the building. Like they will just run you to death. They can't let that happen. I think the Nuggets have to suck them in tempo-wise into a half-court war and slow it down. And pull it back and take good shots. To me, it's about good looks. Move the ball, take good looks, and they got to get the ball in his hands because I think all their best looks come off of his hands, whether it's him shooting or whether it's him finding someone open like Brown. Now, look, I said it yesterday. I've never seen a guy with touch like that, like literal rim bounce touch. Like when he shoots that floater and that little hook, I've never seen a ball that doesn't bounce off the rim. His ball just like rolls on the rim and goes in. It never bounces off. Like when I shoot and miss, mine clanks off and you miss. This guy has the softest touch I ever seen, like a pillow.
He certainly does. And look, he's the best in the business. He really is. And hard not to back him on Sunday. Now you have this guy on the other side, right. SGA, who also is going to be very excited for a Game 7.
Yeah, it's do or die. It's what you live for. It's what you worked your whole life for. It's either your dream continues or your dream ends. So you lay it all out there on the floor and live with the results. But I'm excited for the opportunity for sure.
There you go. I don't, look, one team has a ring, the other one doesn't. So basically it's, 85% of the same team that won it, minus Pope, minus Brown. They got a different Brown in there now. He spells his name like Braun, but I'd say 85% of the team's the same. I think their bench is a little bit different, but it's a title team that we're talking about here and a very young team. I don't deny how good Oak City is. In fact, I've said on this show, if Oak City wins, if the Knicks win, they'll, let's say, get to the finals and beat the Pacers, which isn't happening. But if it did, the Thunder would blow them out. 5 games. Run them right out of the gym. But I think the Pacers will beat the Knicks. I need the Knicks to win tonight. If the Celtics go, I think they'll beat the Pacers, luckily enough, and get back in. And I think the Thunder would beat their ass. I really do. Same problem there. They're going to run them to death, and they're going to miss too many threes. And when you miss clank threes and they get a run, you're dead meat. So, but I also have already said on this show, if the Thunder win, I think the T-Wolves are beating them. And if Denver wins, anything's possible. I think Denver could beat Minnesota. If Denver gets in, if it's Denver, Minnesota, I think for my money, that's the better series than the young Oak City team against Minnesota. I think Minnesota will beat Oak City. I think they're too physical for them. I think they're young and fast and fun and everything else. The only real banger on that team, in my view, is Hartenstein. I think Caruso's tougher than any of their other young guards and players, too. I think Shea's a show-off superstar scorer, but I don't think he's that tough. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think he wants any part of getting his head taken off. I don't think he wants that. I think he dresses like a catwalk fashionista and plays like a superstar. But I don't think he wants that smoke. He don't want any of that Randall smoke. Trust me.
I don't think he wants any of it either. And Minnesota is a much more physical team than Oklahoma City. It would be a very big contrast in styles if you were able to get that in the West Final. But we got to get there first. I'm surprised at this number, and I'm going to hold it off. I can't just do 20 seconds on this because I think the number's just kind of...
Did I just see that right? What did it say?
I think it's disrespectful. It's 8 right now.
My God.
But I want
God,
to.
I'm all over Denver. Bet it right now.
We gotta have. Let's just revisit this after the break because it's a very disrespectful number in my eyes. So we'll do that when we come back, and then we'll get into the Celtics and the Knicks.
It's going to be a 2-point game.
Did you know sportsbooks tend to draw up tighter bet lines for events that get even more bettors, like championship games or major matchups? My tip? Try betting on less popular sports. You might have a better shot at beating those odds. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
They've won 7 in a row. They've been dominant at Citi Field. Lindor's been insane. Pete Alonso's been raking.
Griffin Canning, David Peterson, those guys have pitched really, really well. And when you put it together with that lineup, especially like you said, Lindor's been great. They've got the makings of something very special in Queens.
Ferrall, coast to coast, only on SportsGrid.
Derek Carr has called it a career after 11 NFL seasons.
I think they knew before the draft that they had to make a move at this point. And by the way, Derek Carr did have a pretty good career. Made as many Pro Bowls as Eli Manning. So based on that, he should go to the Hall of Fame like Eli Manning. Well, Eli Manning does have a couple rings at that point, but always wanted to take a shot at Manning, who should not actually be in the Hall of Fame. Shouldn't be questioned an under 500 quarterback for his career. Stop the man.
The early line. Only on SportsGrid. The game is on. The stakes are high, but the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that ring. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
So I spent the break vomiting after you told me that they were giving Denver 8. Come on.
Well, look, it was 10. It was 10. It was 10, 9.5, 10. The other 3 games in Oklahoma City, right? So I guess they've shaved a little bit off. They've given them a little bit of respect. Look, I think that this number, honestly, is they're still basing this game off of the Thunder winning 68 games in a regular season. That's out the window here. This is one game for it all. They've just beaten them 3 times in the last 2 weeks. I think 8's nuts. I'm taking Denver. You want to know what? You're giving me 8 points, Scotty, and I've got not just the best player in the game. I might have the best player in the world, and you're giving me 8 points with him.
Didn't they play him the other night there, and it was 112-105?
Yeah.
That was the best. That was the best they could do in Game 5. This is too many points. I'm on Denver, and in fact, I just bet it. And look, I told my son because he's a huge Thunder fan. It's inexplicable. It's an embarrassment to the family, but it is what it is. He loves the Thunder. That's his team, and it always has been. And he's just the only way. He lives with these cats at San Diego State. 2 of them are Celtic fans. One's a Laker fan. And he's a Thunder fan, and the other one doesn't like the NBA. So they all watch games. You know what he said they love the most is that the NBA games start out there at 4 o'clock and at 7 o'clock. So all they do is get done with class, smoke bongs. Are we on the air? Don't talk about pipe glass. Okay. they just they watch games all day in the afternoon with the sun still up, and then when the sun goes down, they watch the late game, which is an early game for them. He said it's better than, so on weekends the NFL they watch with hangovers because they go out Saturday night and Friday and Saturday night. So watching football on Saturday and Sunday has become a hangover institution. But on the NBA and college rack, it's perfect time of the day to start drinking and smoking and watching games. I'm just giving you some West Coast flavor here, Carver High. So he's on the Thunder to win, and I'm okay with that, but I like Denver in the points.
Yeah, I'm on Denver to win the game outright and the points. I think Denver's going to beat OKC on Sunday. So another year, it's going to be another more growing pains for the young Thunder
Fail
this year, losing a Game 7 at home to Joker and the crew. All right, I'll start the next hour with the Knicks and the Celtics, of course, as they're going to play a Game 6 tonight. I will let you know, we have a couple guys who are trying to make some moves here.
Making moves.
Up the leaderboard. How about, we talked about how crazy it is that Johnny Vegas
Smalley
is the leader. How about Alex Smalley? Alex Smalley is at 7 under now through 10. This guy wasn't even in on Wednesday morning. He wasn't even in the field and only got in when Tagala messed up his neck. And I got to tell you, I think he's going to go past Vegas today. I think actually he's playing so well right now.
Of course, he's still got the whole backside.
Well, now look, we know how, as I said to you yesterday, and you saw it with Vegas on 18, that 16, 17, 18 are the hardest 3 holes on the golf course to get through. But he's still got a couple more holes of these birdie holes before he gets there to that 15, 16, 17, 18 stretch. So let's see if Smalley can give himself a little bit of a cushion before he hits those holes. Now, he's in a little bit of a tough spot here on the 11th. But he's going to tap that in for a par. He's going to get a par there. Also, Bermuda Ben Griffin, 4 under through 6, has gotten to 5 under. We've got his Bezuidenhout I told you about. Harry Hall is now at 4 under. You have got, who else is making a move here? A few other guys. Scheffler's now at 3 under. He's T12. Bobby Mack is at 3 under, along with Alex Noren. These are just guys that are out there right now.
I think Griffin got an eagle.
Yeah, I think that's how Griffin.
For Griffin, your boy Griffin, an eagle.
That was how he got to the 5 under, was with that eagle. So Bermuda Ben Griffin suddenly making himself involved here at the PGA Championship. But the big names are all struggling. I mean, Xander is like 4 over now. There's like all these guys are not going to be around for the weekend here at Quail Hollow the way they're looking right now.
What a shame. How will I ever get through it?
New to social casinos? You're in for a treat. Most online casinos offer bonus cash or coins just for signing up. That's your own little participation trophy. Now, go get lucky. See you in Las Vegas. Let's get lucky.
The game is on. The stakes are high. But the action isn't just on the field.
He's rearranging that rim. Get it inside!
SportsGrid's in-game live. Your ultimate second screen experience.
A little flyer, couple of 15.5-point live line.
Every prop, every play, every day.
Anything can happen. That's complete chaos.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Dr. Dre said at one time here, James Wood, always up to no good, man. I like a couple players in that lineup, man, on a day-to-day basis can really get after it. Again, playing good baseball, 15 and 19 overall. We'll see how they pursue.
The Reds, Reds are a really fun team. We're going to talk about them a ton, and I don't think they'll compete for a wild card. But again, they're a team like the Nats where they're going to give other teams trouble at times, and they can't overlook that matchup. Cubs win the division, as we all expected.
Pro Baseball Today, only on SportsGrid.
The Warriors' future was uncertain. Are they going to break it up? Steve Kerr coming back. They get Jimmy Butler, and they surge all the way through, and now they're through the first round.
The Warriors have guys, because of how special their star trio is, they can make the guys around them better. They can elevate the way that they play. And we saw that. Steph Curry, 3 points in the first half, steps up in the second half, 19 points in the second half to carry them home.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.